Hi everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how to couch a latch hook. I work in a frame shop and this is one of the methods we use to straighten out different types of needle art and install it in a frame. So for the latch hook you'll need a mat board cut to size, preferably acid free. The one I chose is 12 by 12, so that's the size of the mat board we'll be using. You will also need T-pins. The T-pins are going to secure the latch hook to the mat board and make sure it doesn't slip around while you're sewing it on. Next, you'll need a needle. I prefer to use cross-stitch needles because they're more blunt and I feel like they're easier to work with, as well as getting the thread through the eye of the needle. As for the thread, I prefer to use invisible thread, and that's only because it works with almost every single latch hook and it's just the easiest to work with in my opinion. You will also need scissors, which will be used to cut off the additional thread at the end when you're tying or anything else you may think of. Something optional you can use as a tool is tape to tape down the section of thread when you're finished completing the latch hook and the couching, and it just makes it easier to tie the knot. And finally, you'll need a latch hook. So the one I'll be demonstrating with is this one of Mario I made. Again, it's 12 by 12, and no, the sides are not sewn over, but the way I'm going to be showing you, it doesn't matter that there's still some canvas sticking out the side. So to start off the latch hook, the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure it's nice and centered on the mat board. If it's not centered, it won't be able to be adhered properly, and then it's just going to get messed up and it's going to look sloppy. To install the T-pins into the mat board, what you're going to need to do is make sure it's still lined up and push it very hard through the mat board to make sure it goes all the way through. You'll do this several times completely around the edge so that way the artwork is completely on the inside and centered. This is what your T-pin should look out, evenly spaced and across the entire mat board. Next, you're going to want to make sure your needle is properly threaded and ready to go. What you're going to do is remove the T-pin and find the hole that it created in the mat board directly underneath, and you're going to stick your needle all the way through the hole, straight up through the top of the latch hook. What you're going to do is you're going to pull the thread all the way up like this. Then when you come down, you're going to go through a different square. This way it keeps a stronger hold on it and bond, but you're still going to be going through. Next, you're just going to take the needle and you're going to put it straight back in the same hole it came from, and it'll create sort of an up and down loop style. This helps hold it in place, and we're going to do this all the way around until we reach the other side where we began. The next step is to tighten the thread that we've sewn in through the entire back. So this is the part where the tape is optional. You'll take the excess thread of what you've cut off from the spool and tape it down. Next, you're going to want to hold onto the thread and tightly pull it up and down so that way it stays secured to the back of the mat board. Next, you're going to want to tie a knot on the back after you have tightened the thread. Tightening the thread on the back is going to allow it to stay stable on it. So what you're going to do after you tie it, you're going to take the excess thread and you're going to tape it down. Make sure it's on there very well so that way it's not going to come off. And then you're going to cut off the rest of the excess. As you can see, the image is centered well on the mat board. This is what the back of our material will look like, and as you can see, it's very neatly done and complete.